Hey guys, welcome back to another video on my channel. Today we're back in Snapshot 24W38A, and this one is quite small, but it does bring one really good change. So the first thing, which you have to have the bundle experimental toggle enabled for, and this is bundles now have 16 variants, one for each color of dye. Now it's a bit upsetting that they've actually done them as different items rather than like leather armor where you could dye them. I'm guessing maybe this is some technical thing that they couldn't get to work or something. But each bundle is a different item, so that means there is only the 16 different colours. So there's 17 variants in total. You've got one for each colour, and then you've obviously got a undyed, so it works basically like terracotta colours. So this is cool. All bundles work exactly the same. All bundles can have 64 items in. There is no differences apart from just the dye colour. So if we just grab a bundle, let's grab the light grey. The light grey does look really cool. And then let's quickly just grab some items. So let's just grab a few of them in our inventory. And let's now throw them in. You can see that is what it looks like. Nothing changes. And if I was to try and take an item out, which I guess we can do by doing that, you can see the texture does also update to show the item in it with the color. Now they have also added a new item tag, and this item tag just includes all the different bundle variants. So let's quickly have a look. This is how the bundles are crafted. So this is how the dyed bundles are crafted. They are crafted any dye variant with then any color of bundle. So you do not need a undyed bundle to re-dye them. If I have a grey one, I can re-dye that grey one to red if I want to, which I do like. The recipe for the actual bundle hasn't changed, so it is still one leather and also one string. So if I quickly just grab that, you can see that if I throw that into there, there it is, the normal bundle. And then we can just obviously dye this in addition to get a color. I like that they've added dyeable bundles because this makes organizing your inventory way better. For example, if we quickly just go back here, green one could be for seeds, a blue one could be for caving items, and this just opens up for so much more customization when sorting with bundles. Now, one other thing I do want to mention, they have also made a change to shulker box recipes, and that is the fact that shulker box will now show all color variants inside of the recipe book. And once again, I don't know if this was the case before, but you can now re-dye any shulker box color. That might have been in the game prior, but I'm not too sure, so I'm going to mention it anyway. Now, a few things I'm going to note, but I can't really show this off. Realms have had quite a few updates. Realms can now be more customized. First of all, you can now enable hardcore mode for realms. So if you want a realm with hardcore mode enabled, that is now something you can do. And you can now also have more control on data packs and also game rules. So if you want to adjust game rules, there's now a screen to do that. And if you want to enable data packs for your realms, there's now also a screen to do that as well. So if you do have a realm, this update has made realms way more customizable for you and your friends to play. So I've quickly jumped to the patch notes because the patch notes are very lackluster this update. They don't include much details. For example, the dyeable bundles, although it's shown up here, it isn't really shown. It only is mentioned once at the very top here. They don't talk about it anywhere down below and don't give more details on it. So it seems like the patch notes were either very rushed or just weren't updated that well. But there is a new item component, and then it says a new recipe type, and this is for crafting transmute. And this is used basically to give a item that copies the input item. I think this is used when like repairing tools in an anvil. You put an item in and you get the same item in return, but it just has more durability damage added to it. And it says here, this new recipe type is introduced. When matched, output will copy the input item stack, changing the item type but preserving all stack components. And it says here this replaces the crafting special shulker box, so it seems like this was used for colouring different shulker boxes. And the fields here are category, group, input, material and result. So the category is what category it goes inside of in these tabs. The group is an optional string, and that is what if it will be grouped. So for example, these dyeable bundles is all grouped into one button, so that is what that means. The input is the ingredient for the item to copy. The material is any additional ingredients to use, so if you want maybe a diamond sword with red dye, that is something you can do. And the result is the item type used for output. So I just quickly wanted to explain a new crafting recipe type a little bit more because I think I explained it very poorly. So it's a new category that is in the type of a crafting recipe field, and this is for the crafting table. And we're using the example right here as the green shulker box. So basically what it does is you have an input item, which in this case is any shulker box. You have the material, which is green dye. So this is dye in a shulker box green. and the result is a green shulker box. So basically what the recipe is doing is it's grabbing this item and it's getting all the data for this item, so all the item components. It's pasting them onto the result item, but changing the item type. So for example, we could change this to diamond sword, and we could change this to amethyst shard, and then maybe it could put out a new amethyst sword, but it would copy all the data from the diamond sword. Now they have also updated the resource pack, and this is just because bundle models and textures now have all 16 color variants, and it seems like the models and UV mappings related to the torch and blocks containing redstone torch have been updated. And then there are very little bugs within this snapshot as well, which I'm going to quickly just pick out the ones that are worth noting. So a bug has been fixed where if you had a glow squid or a squid in a bubble elevator, they would be pushed up really high in the air and start teleporting. So that has now been fixed, and it seems like they now work like most other aquatic mobs inside of bubble elevators. There was also a bug where if you was to shoot an amethyst block, so with a trident or an arrow, it would show up in the subtitles as you breaking the block. Now it shows up as amethyst chimes. And the only other really noticeable bug to mention is they have fixed the destroy item. So when you click this button now, or when you shift click it, it will remove everything out of your inventory and will no longer cause desync. So now we've covered everything within the snapshot, I quickly just want to talk about the bundles a little bit more, and my thoughts on the way they've done it. I don't like that they're a new item. Although if they were one single item, it wouldn't really make a difference. The fact there's one item for every single bundle, I'm guessing that's probably just so players can find them easier. So if you want a black bundle, you can just search black bundle without having to dye the bundle black. But this does mean that you can't do what you can with leather armor. So if I was to grab some different dyes, and I was to, for example, grab leather armor, let's quickly just grab a chest piece. If I was to throw the leather armor inside of here, and then I was to mix and match some dyes, you can see the tint of it changes depending on what colors you put in and how many of that color. So if I was to remove orange, you can see it tints slightly. If I was to remove a yellow, maybe if I was to add some more green, you can see it slowly tints. And now with the bundle, that's not possible. If I throw the bundle inside of there, let's take the chest piece out, you can see there's no recipe. And that's because it only checks one singular dye. So there we go, now we can dye it yellow. And although colored bundles is really good, it's something I didn't expect Minecraft to do, it's just weird how this is the only leather-like item that doesn't have the tinting to it. But one thing I do want to mention, I do like the coloring of the bundles. They're not vibrant where they look horrible. I think the colouring is well done on them. I also do like that they've added a brown one and not just renamed the normal bundle to brown, because I like the lighter brown. I think that looks really cool as well. But anyway, that is it for this snapshot. It's a very small one, but it does introduce coloured bundles, which I think is really good. One thing I am going to quickly mention before we end, the coloured bundles are within experimental toggles. They are experimental and they could change a lot between now and the final release. And you do also need to have the bundle experimental toggle enabled to have the bundles, otherwise they won't appear in your creative inventory, nor will you be able to craft them. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, do leave a like and subscribe, and I guess I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!